Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is DB333 and welcome back to Hearts 4, The New Order, Last Days of Europe as Komi. Now in the last video, we finished up Springtime in Russia, and we're currently working on putting our, exerting some influence all across the southern Urals. And we're also about to get working a bit on our military, a bit of on our economy. So we're going to work on establishing the economic zones. The finer details of economic recovery are for aspiring entrepreneurs and workers to manage. Free enterprise will take the groundwork. The state's role, meanwhile, will be direct development in the most efficient direction possible. To that end, our territory will be divided up into economic zones, regions where the economy will be organized by the government along the necessary lines. That way, we can avoid situations where prime agricultural lands is given over to industry, or areas rich in resources are allocated to farmers. That makes sense to me, personally. The back market available. Caucasia might just implode on itself. And that would be interesting to see. Let's improve relations with them. So it looks like once we get 50, we can add them to our spear, which basically puppets them. Now that'll be good. Improved battle tanks. Do we want to get working? I think we might want to get working on a bit of aircraft. So let's research some jet engines. Because a better Air Force sounds pretty good right about now. Improved main battle tanks. Let's do it. Now, I believe we can decrease our arms trading. So let's do it. Those pop-ups are getting annoying. A rather interesting alternate history novel has been gaining some attention around the world, perhaps for all the wrong reasons. The Greatest Story Never Told, released 2 weeks ago, self-published by certain Bodleian Clefton Dixie, almost certainly pen name, with a hand-drawn cover, which some critics describe as a crude drawing of a tank with a Dixie flag, rolling over a Nazi flag with a hammer and sickle instead of a swastika, with a thought balloon coming out of George Lincoln Rockwell's head. The novel is a strange ramble about how if Rockwell had been assassinated by Judeo-Bolsheviks, he would have created the greatest story in mankind's history, and goes on to blame his death on Jews being afraid of what truths he could write. The novel has garnered attention all due to its bizarre tone and claims such as Nazi Germany as being a Judeo-Bolshevik bastion due to it being led by a party who is socialist before it is nationalist, among many other astonishing claims, which are surprisingly comedic, hence its widespread success in the US and abroad. I never thought I could laugh like this again. Oh, Lord. So we'll discredit the Ural League. That's not quite what we wanted to do, I just realized. The contract responsibility system. Every past Russian government has attempted to achieve agricultural efficiency, but none ever met with success. The feudal nature of the empire meant that any proposed reform would have to wrangle the indulgent, greedy landowners. The Bolsheviks, on the other hand, cared more about having an ideologically acceptable system than on a fair or functioning one. This has made famine a recurring and severe threat to our people. The contract responsibility system will ensure a stable food supply and good income for rural farmers by giving parcels of land to groups of farmers. This will minimize competition over land. Additionally, we will accept taxation in grain and subsidize our other crops. Okay. Black market order failed. Yeah. Army professionalism is going very, very well. Industrial expertise. Our agricultural rate has already gone up, but it might go up again soon enough. I think our industrial expertise will be done before that. Congolese Republic has defeated the other guys. Okay, for the Euro League, they're aligned now, so I think we want to decrease opponent relations with the Euro League. Yeah, keep them on our level. Contract responsibility system. We'll get some aid for the farmers next. The current generation of Russian farmers has been building their livelihoods from nothing. Mechanization was never a priority for the Bolsheviks, and the short-lived war economy only made their situation worse. Most farmers still work the lands in the same manner as countless generations of peasants did. To feed a growing population, our agricultural capacity needs to catch up with the modern world. For that to happen, every farmer will need the tools and equipment to match his Japanese or American counterparts. Though some economic chafe at the thought, we will have to instate massive discounts to make this possible. Not an easy solution, but a smart one in the long term. We'll do air-ground task forces. We can working on some propaganda campaigns as well. I'm not too worried about those, honestly. Is anyone gonna take out Drillavanger? Let's see, I'll discredit our opponent in Magnitogorsk. Just kind of have him keep wasting time there. Aid for farmers. Beautiful. They want to align themselves with Orenburg, which I think is going to bite them in the ass ultimately. What do we want to work on next? Maybe an educated populace will be good. When a child is given a worldly, well-rounded education, their potential increases exponentially. So it is with nations. Yes, Russia has traditionally been a land of uneducated peasants and workers, but it doesn't have to be so. Establishing new schools all across the nation must be top priority. Every year that goes by without a proper education system is another generation denied the future they deserve. For Russia is to have diplomats, scientists, engineers, and artists, the basic prerequisites for existence must first be met. It was a nice effort, guys. It really was. Yeah, so we can add Orenburg to our spear soon enough. So that'll puppet them. EuroLeague is receptive to us. Mess with them a little more. Scimitar Spear. There we go. Educated populace. Komi _socialib.6.a. Our academic base is improving. That's all that really matters. Next, we'll do standardizing the schools. The question of curriculum has always been too political. Every scheming dictator and obsessive ideologue wants their children to learn nothing more than what they deem appropriate. This has been the downfall of every education system that caters to the masses, and will not be repeated here. But fledgling Department of Education has begun to draw up a standard curriculum under the President's oversight. The emphasis will be on the things most important for a modern nation, science and mathematics. Other fields will be under the jurisdiction of the autonomous republics and regional governments. This will demonstrate our trust in subordinate governments and allow for the safe continuation of minority cultures. So after we get, what, 50... we can integrate them. Military construction. We'll lose Magnitogorsk. I'm not too worried about that. We might lose the EuroLeague, which will kind of suck, but what are you going to do? And Dirlevanger, we'll fucking see what happens there. Engineer companies. Actually, I think you guys, yeah, no, you guys aren't done with that yet. You or someone else. We'll do some radio detection. Not me good. Yeah, you guys were the whatchamacallit, the doctrine guys. And we'll get rid of black market influence altogether. Get the fuck out of here. I never want to see that fucking pop up again. I'll decrease our investment here. Yeah, it gives us more help all around. We'll do unity in science. Science is the way to the future, but our progress in that direction has been halted. The rest of the world has moved on while we, the Russians, are still working with textbooks from the early Soviet era. This problem is easily remedied, but how to get ordinary people invested in this boring subject? Why, propaganda. Propaganda is a dirty word these days, but how else can a government effectively convey its ideas and intentions? It doesn't have to be mean brainwashing in 24-hour broadcasts. We can campaign for science through TV, radio, and newspapers, as we would if we were recruiting for the military. The lessons learned from stoking patriotic pride can be applied well in the popularization of science. So that's going to help our industrial expertise somehow. So EuroLeague, we'll go ahead and decrease. Oh, we are already doing that. So we'll hold off and we'll probably do the same thing in a second. Yeah, so now they're just neutral. Integrate Orenburg. So I think we can start decreasing our investment in them a little bit. Focus more on the EuroLeague. Unity in science. Very nice. Next, a bright generation. President Kosygin is said by some to desire nothing more or less than to be at the head of a grand bureaucratic machine. They say he cares only for the sense of satisfaction he feels at knowing his grand design is functioning smoothly. They are wrong. The greatest and noblest of the president's desires is to leave Russia in a better state than he found it. The best way to ensure that happens is to give all of Russia's children the twin gifts of education and safety. In time, it will fall to them to conduct what he has started. Russia's future lives and dies at the hearts of these future workers and intellectuals, in the generation that will shine brightest of all. Radio detection. Decrease a bit more influence. Also, we might want to get back to working in... See if we can't do anything here yet. Conservative victory in Canada. There goes Diefenbaker. Just creating Orenburg. Orenburg accepts integration. Our diplomats have returned from Orenburg with wonderful news. After significant deliberation, the Council of Orenburg has accepted our offer to absorb the territory into our state peacefully. The current government will continue to administer the region as an interim provisional authority until we are able to fully integrate the region. The militias of Orenburg and the surrounding colonists have agreed to integrate into our military as well, providing us with thousands of soldiers familiar with the local terrain and ready to serve their new nation. Many fear that Orenburg would be the spark that set Russia alight once more, but it seems that diplomacy has prevailed, this time at least. Perhaps we can hope that the days of war between Russians are coming to an end. They know what's best for them. Perhaps. We'll go ahead and integrate them up. We'll convert this guy to that. We'll convert this guy over to one of our motorized fellas. And you will convert to one of our main divisions. But yeah, not bad. We got the U2, which we'll convert over to you. I'm getting an email, strangely enough. I wonder who's doing that right now. Oh, another guy. We'll go ahead and change that over. There we go. National focus set. What next? The opening of Russia. Russia is a land of bounty, but it doesn't have to be everything we need. More specifically, it doesn't have the capital. Most of what little wealth exists in the hands of government, bar a few particularly miserable individuals. For our nation and the state it's in now, there's only one place for us to turn. Foreign capital must flow into the country. With it, there will come knowledge, innovation, and technology. All three will improve our economy with alacrity. Given the disparity in development, it will be a long time before we can break through the glass ceiling and into the upper echelon of global economic powers, but catching up will suffice for now. There we go. We can cool down on that investment. I think we'll give up on Magnitogorsk. We'll discredit them a bit. See if we can't get 2 for the price of 1. Oh god, Durlvanger is actually kicking ass there. That's not good. Oh no. Oh no. What is that? Great conspiracy. Perhaps it's true. Perhaps it isn't. I don't know. I don't work there. I'm not blaming China or Japan or any of those guys. I don't know what's going on there. Don't ask me. The opening of Russia. Alright, we still need to up our relations with them, so we'll do that. Let's exploit our southern oil reserves. That'll be good. Oil is the lifeblood of our nations and the foundation of many economies. Our reserves might not be as vast as those of Venezuela or the Arab nations, but we have plenty of fuel to fuel our own economic growth. We have enough, in fact, that exports are a viable option. No doubt, some nations will be grateful to have a source that isn't in the pocket of an existing superpower. Reserves already exist in Samar, the Urals, and Tatarstan, a decent start, but we'll need to drill deeper to find enough for a prospering oil industry. Expansion of existing facilities is a given. We can also look into more opportunities as we expand into Siberia. Just beyond our border, there could be enough oil to make us a top competitor in the energy business. We might just be able to do that, guys. Research slot available. Let's go. Let's get some better fighters going. Production, there we are. Black market order failed. I was hoping that would go away and just fuck off, but I guess not. We need some tungsten. So I'll trade with Japan to get a little bit of tungsten. Get working on supplying this tank. Free military factories. We'll get more tanks. A little bit more anti-air. We need a lot of anti-tank too. Wow. We need a lot of everything, actually. Artillery, all of that noise. I'm thinking, we'll stop training some new guys for now, because actually, no, we won't. Actually, yeah, we will. We'll work on resupplying those that we got. Our economy, our debt's kind of high, but what are you going to do? Exploit southern oil reserves. All up our construction. So we can build more stuff. Though the Russian Republican Army is mighty within Russia, it does not compare to our contemporary forces of the three global superpowers. Many of our tactics and weapons are from the Soviet-German war over 20 years ago. It's time to bring the RRA to the modern age. We'll renovate the army by increasing the military budget, investing in the new military technologies, and expanding the most recent military tactics. In the end, the Russian Republican Army will become a Cold War-ready force to be reckoned with. There we are. Okay, exercising's probably... it's probably a good idea to get these guys out of green. But, offensive line... yeah, all Spear of the Euro League. England versus Scotland. I can't even get mad at that. I honestly can't. I mean, I can. I probably will be a little bit, to be honest, but I mean, I do the same shit. Who the heck is emailing me? Jordan Miller. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Of course, I just said that name, and I probably shouldn't have, but I'm reading that. For the last time, officer, I'm not handing over the strategy of his country to a council that thinks the army can be relegated to a secondary priority. The thud of a binder punctuated the last words, and Strelkov flinched. At least the commander hadn't aimed for the head this time. If the council truly believes that this newfangled strategy is what's best, I think it's best we safeguard the real power far away from them until they are disabused of the notion. Strelkov nodded helplessly. Commander Grigorenko, please, this is not a usurpation of anything of the sort. We're simply attempting to use better strategy now that our air force is in working condition. After all, we in the Republic cannot afford casualties in the same way large countries can. Another binder. Thud. This louder than the first. You're delusional! If the airland strategy will safeguard our losses. Strelkov, I've been working close for a decade in the military, and our entire operational doctrine has been configured to work with combined armor infantry operations. The Air Force will only complicate this state of affairs by stealing resources and money from us. Strelkov kneaded his temples. Commander, there is to be no stealing. We will allocate funds as we deem fit for the Republic. Moreover, we are aware that the transition to airland battle will take quite a while, which is why we need you on board. Who else could train with us? Grigorenko simply shook his head. Tell your council they have two options. They can stick with my suggestions, or they can stumble around in the dark by themselves. I will not stand for this strategic blunder, and I could not live with myself if I were to further it. Now go. Air-land battle sounds promising, mostly because we're done with our land doctrine. The only thing we have left is the other doctrine. Ooh, let's do, reopening the Vyatka General Staff Assembly. The Tsars of Russia once had a famous academy, but was used to train new officers into general staff. And it's time that we revive the academy. It will be used to pump out the best of the best generals for our army and improve the officer corps. With effort, it could become one of the top military academies in all of Russia. There we go. Research slot available. Let's go. Heavy aircraft. Get some heavy jet engines going. Yeah, I don't care. The black market should be well gone by now. It can fuck off, as far as I'm concerned. Some poverty relief programs. Do we still have 50-80%? Yeah, we still have it, but we are very close to getting out of that hole. We'll get some better industrial bases very soon. Better academic base. Beautiful. Next, let's go for strategic supremacy. When it comes to war, weapons are only as good as the person handling them. Offensive and defensive tactics are only as effective as the commander issuing them. We must strive for the greatest tacticians in all of Russia and defeat our enemies through superior tactics alone. At the end of the day, it is our military maneuver that will set us above our fiercest opponents. God, this place is far, Sokolov grumbled as he checked the timing from his truck. His rusty old wristwatch had been a gift from Dad, but there was no sign of his father's precision now as he watched the dusty road. It had been, if this little contraption was accurate, almost half an hour since the scheduled delivery to the military academy. How the hell was he supposed to get there on time? Yes, far indeed. I've been waiting 45 minutes myself. There was a twinkle in the older man's eyes. Sokolov sized him up, suspicious as a miner's son in a poor district could be of someone who looked suspiciously bourgeois. Dressed in relatively well-tailored clothing, with a little cap to stave off the wind, the man looked nothing like he was been told to encounter. I don't believe we met. I'm Simon. Semyon. You? Sokolov glared at his hand, then relented and shook. I'm Sokolov, south of Tivkar. You with the academy? Semyon, if that was his real name, nodded, his smile firm on his face. Well then, I suppose we'll get acquainted eventually. What's your designated specialization? The man rustled about in his breast pocket and pulled out a crumpled piece of paper. I'm assigned to artillery and fire control. Your infantry standards, I take it? I know they're taking a lot of them these days, and you seem the type. Sokolov nodded, chuckling a bit. Can't believe he sent me to Vyatka after sending me into the rough bodies. Think the army wants to kill me between the both of us. Semyon chuckled, and the air between them grew easy. Why'd you sign up? This course ain't gonna be easy for none of us. The man seemed almost shy. Same reason as you. I love my country. He waved to the fields around him, balanced to the sky itself. And I want to keep it free. Sokolov nodded. The two were very different, but they were going to get along just fine. They'll enter as boys and leave as men. Beautiful. Military construction. Horizontal industrial organization. Alright, we can add into our spear. And then with 50, we're good. What are we missing? We need close air support. I mean, fair enough, but there's only so much we can worry about. Really. Huh. Can we prepare unification talks? It has to be 69 for that. So we might be getting to that soon enough, actually. Strategic supremacy. We'll develop the new industrial center. Naturally, industrialization will be a priority for us. The great nations of the world moved on from agrarianism decades, if not centuries ago. Attempts were made by past governments, but the scale of industry found in Germany or Britain was never replicated here. By offering to establish production facilities catering to foreign markets, we can become a workshop of the world. Given the less developed state of Russia, goods can be produced here at a low cost compared to, for example, the US. Basic goods from Russia exported en masse might not be glamorous, but if it works, it works. We just need 50 influence. That's all we need. I'm guessing we need to beat them to 100 before they take early egg out of our spear. There you go. Integrate the Euro League. We have, what, 30 days? Yeah, there goes the other guys. Next we'll do comprehensive refinement reforms. Exporting crude oil is good business, but it could be better. Because it's refined overseas, we're missing out on a large portion of the profits from the finished product. It would be a lot more profitable to refine our oil here in Russia before exporting a usable product. We might sell a little less, but the overall profits will be much higher. With those increased profits, we can follow the lead of the Arabs and begin massive investment programs to bring our nation to the modern era. It's a seller's market, and we're very good at affordable prices. Black gold will succeed where real gold cannot, and with it, we will buy our way into the future. We'll see what they're going to do. They're about to reach 100. Will it matter? Oh, they're in their spear too, but I think we're good, right? Come on, Mendrix. The United Kingdom has defeated the Republic of Scotland in war. A union at what cost? Rule Britannia. Britannia, rule the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. There we go. Rule Britannia, folks. There we go. Better army professionalism. Better industrial expertise. Ooh, 2 for 1. There we go. They know what's best for them. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, these guys never stopped exercising now, did they? We'll put these guys on the front line. What's that guy? We'll assign him there. And then I can only think of like military intervention here for Dillavanger. But I don't think the other guys would approve of that. And I kind of want to do some peaceful talks for the rest of these fellas. We can invest in a bit of construction. No national focus set. Some ardent patriotic types argue against it, but one cannot deny the efficacy of foreign investment. Granted, it tends to be the government rather than the citizens who benefit financially, but does that really matter right now? We should take any opportunity to further our economic growth, no matter whether it offends the ideologues and a few proud politicians. Labor incentives and tax breaks are all usually needed to get foreign investors interested. We offer both to corporations who open branches offices in Western Russia, as well as those who partner with the Russian companies. It worked for the rest of the world, it can work for us too. And so we'll begin unification talks on the 1st of January, 1969. Get some more support equipment. We got basic jet fighters. So we're going to replace these guys. What, basic jet fighters? Yeah. We'll do some drop tanks. Working on those. And begin unification talks. Our ideological similarity to our Western neighbors has granted us a fortunate opportunity for the peaceful unification of our states. Despite their receptiveness, however, tensions still exist as a result of conditions of warlord-era Russia. In order to successfully unify our two states, it would be reasonable to not push too far diplomatically, lest negotiations fail and Russia once more falls into violence. will enhance our diplomatic standing. What do we want to do? Let's try mutual training exercises. The West Russian Free Republic has overcome its obstacles and conquered all nations in its way, either through peaceful unification or forceful war. The situation it faces now, however, is a unique one. The Ural Military District does not wish to spill blood. Save a government that is sympathetic to ours must undergo the long and arduous process of binding our two nations together so that we shall stand strong with the rest of Russia is within our sight. This will tighten the leash of our administration, but it will be worth it in the end. Pushing ever onwards. Smarter academic base. Damn, we are moving up. We just need to get our poverty rate out of a hole. Foreign investment incentives. Let's do managerial socialism. Our free market reforms and move away from the Bolsheviks should not be misinterpreted. The president is still in his heart a socialist. However, while we might aspire to social ideals, we are not blindly blinded by our ambition or ideological fanaticism. Socialism cannot be forced. It must be born naturally, coaxed gently into being with the consent of voters. To this end, we have adopted the principle of managerial socialism. Our economy will be regulated and structured in a manner that avoids the pitfalls of liberal capitalism while still enjoying its benefits. Eventually, so the thinking goes, we'll progress to a state wherein a peaceful transition to true socialism will occur naturally, without the need for bloodshed and tyranny. And that could work. Look at the Lib Dem we support. We have, holy shit. Tensions between our two states is 15. The mutual acceptance to peaceful reunification is also 15. So again, we'll see how this all ends up working out. We need more anti-tank. Big time, actually. So we'll get working on that. Poor Gellervanger is just kind of... He's just kind of vibing on his own. Barry Goldwater. Okay. Oh dear God. Are they going for... Please tell me they're not going Yaki or Komi. We'll see what happens there, I guess. We'll stop exercising these guys. Yeah. After having agreed to a mutual declaration of friendship, the Ural Military District has approached us with yet another offer. To cement our status as allies, they recommend that the border between our nations is only reduced to a skeleton crew of soldiers. This will show a sign that we do not need to fear each other. Now our population can rest easy knowing one's frontier is safe. Do we accept? Sure. Sign the treaty. We'll do Project Kabirskin. The field of computing has expanded dramatically in the past 2 decades. Our resident computer scientists were stunned to learn what kind of advances have been made by the great powers. There's even been some discussion of the possibility that computers will be used in virtually every profession in a few decades. President Kosygin is most interested. He's gathered the public's small clique of computer scientists in the capital. Together they have devised Project Kibirsin, an astoundingly ambitious yet quite achievable plan to revolutionize the economy. This will involve establishing computer hubs placed in key locations around the country, able to process the information at lightning speeds that will provide us with the most centralized and efficiently managed economy in the world, at least once we have the technology. Alright, interesting. Well, that's about it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you as always for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more uploads every weekday, as well as every Saturday. If you have any comments, feedback, concerns, anything of the sort, go ahead and leave in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get and appreciate any all feedback you kind of folks might have from me. If you want to send a few bucks my way, I have a Patreon. If you want to chat or play games, I have a Discord. If you want to see me do this sort of stuff live, I have a Twitch, all of which are down links below. That's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you as always for watching. My name has been DB333, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.